Okay. We are here making a sign for our fundraiser for our sailboat. You forgot the D. Oh, you got the D? All right.
I don't know how to spell fundraiser.
This is Cushman, and this is Silver Serpent Savannah over here. And we got Dollar the Pit Bull down below. So we're going to run a pepper stand tomorrow and sell some aquaponic organic peppers that we've raised. And hopefully they do well for us. Every dollar helps. All right, so we've got fundraiser.
He loves you too, but I love you more.
Okay, so is that like centered or?
It's kind of not centered. I tried.
Should we just do like one letter at a time?
Yeah.
Okay. How about this? I'll hold it. What color do we want to do the fundraiser in? Huh? Purple and blue. All right. Well, the purple probably stand. Well, yeah. Okay.
Let's stand out.
You're equal partner in this deal, so. All right. I'll hold it steady, and you stencil it.
Just.
Hold it down tight so you don't bleed under or whatever. Guess it doesn't matter. We're not professional sign makers.
Well, I got a D- in art. I think that says something.
Yeah, I don't know what that says, but
I think it says I shouldn't be making a sign.
okay.
Okay, moment of truth.
Yeah, maybe not go around the edges so much. I don't know.
I told you that's why I have a D-.
Okay, well, I'll do the next letter and you do, it'll be a joint deal. Okay, so where's the U at? There's the U.
You scared my dollar off. You scared my nut off.
I'm definitely not a professional sign maker here. So, aqua blue or light blue for the next one?
Whatever color that is. Okay. Daddy. Love you.
I don't know after criticizing your letter if I'm going to do much better, but we'll see. I guess it'll get the point across. Okay, you put your finger there. All right. That'll probably help. They had some adhesive ones I could have got. They're like $4 more. Yeah.
Making my art stuff.
Okay. Boom. Okay, I need the N. Where's the N letter
You
go?
have to cap it, otherwise you're gonna knowing you'll bump it and not the thing. You have to cap it.
Okay, you keep me neat. Okay.
You have to keep it. It's good.
Is that good?
Yes. I don't know, there's quality for sign making, but yes.
Okay. There we go. Okay, we need a D. There's the D. I'll do the D. You hold it. Where's the purple? Where's the purple?
No, because I use purple. You have to use the corresponding color.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. That's not bad.
See? Tap it
I got a cat. All right, where's the R?
right in front of you. I think you're going blind.
Probably. I'm getting old for sure.
Yeah, center.
Yeah, I think so. Hey, Koo, how are you? Got cookies on there. Throwing down in chat.
These cookies. Does this mean you want to make me cookies?
No.
I think we have some cookie batter left over in the fridge, but I don't know if it's good.
Oh, you're definitely my daughter. You're talking smack about his screaming. Right.
No judging.
You be out there bright and early too. Just take the PC cruiser, pop the back, set up some of those racks. So,
Okay, pop it up. You shifted it, so if it's ruined, it's your fault.
that's all right.
Thunder.
Okay.
That was a little over with the R. You have to see tips.
There we go. All right. And what color did you go in? You went in purple, so I'm going.
This
Where's
is
mine?
yours.
Okay, so this will be mine. I think that's going to be the fastest place to do it.
I don't want to paint it the rainbow.
What's your finger?
I can't put my feet up, otherwise Dollar comes over and lets them take
Mm.
draw their little button. You like eating Sharpies, so you should watch it.
Yeah, I probably should.
I
Okay, there we go.
don't really know if he likes eating them because he likes eating
Okay, I.
in front of
There's
people.
the I. All right, get your red marker ready to go. Take us 5 years. How long? Let's get this centered a little so it looks more nice here. All right, there we go.
That,
Okay,
that's in front of you.
there we go.
Oh, you're doing
You
it.
put that up there. I'm coloring that one. Make sure there's not too much space. It looks stupid when there's too much space, like someone has a gap. There we go. That's about right.
I think I'll scare away your viewers.
No, I won't have too many. I didn't put it out there a lot. This is just gonna post to our channel. And then people can kind of come in later. They could come on live, but Cookie's still there. He's a good guy. You know, I've been talking for a couple of years. He's a good guy.
So he won't be mad that I offended his screen name.
No, he's a little older. He's got kids of his own,
Yeah, got a spot.
just about my age. So,
Seriously, want some cookies. So.
okay.
Well, you have a few white spots, sir, Senor. Senor Cruz. I don't know how I have sharp
Okay.
markers on me.
I'm not trying to be perfect on this, just trying to be done soon. All right. We've got a lot of letters to go. Fundraiser. Okay, I've got the E right here. Your turn. Okay. Whoa, it moved.
Don't do anything.
There we go.
What's the stuff I'm laying on the pulley stuff? Or is that just a...
I don't know.
Oh, you brought it home.
Mm.
Mm. Oh,
Okay.
this one's my rib.
There we go.
What are you doing with an arm? Oh, I'm an idiot.
Okay. Hold it down. These kind of smear on this poster.
Because they're,
Oh, I get glossy.
yeah.
That's what they hit. 70 cents each, so it's right in the price range.
Wow, this has been going on for 15 minutes. Took us 15 minutes to write a word, Dad. Real accomplishers.
Well, put in time. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. We got the fundraising part of it done. All right, so everybody can see here. There, we got that part done. So now we're going to work on the rest of it. There. All right.
People are watching.
Okay. Now, where's our example here? Okay, so we need to do live and figure out, measure it down here. So we get it nice and even. So we'll come in.
No,
23. What's that, 39?
Yes.
Okay, so do this. Let's get this one out. Read the label. How many inches?
22 by 28.
Okay, so 28. So dead center is going to be 14.
Is that your toy? The toy?
There's 14. 22. We'll come down. To 19. There's our dead center mark right there.
Where?
Right here. That's our dead center mark. So we're coming down to 19. And let's... $18.78.
I think we have some numbers in here.
Okay. Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Six,
See,
0.
that's why they say the tape measure doesn't lie. Because your eye with the angle, I was going to be off if I tried to freehand that. I think everybody watching this knows. Anybody that will watch it, we'll see. Okay, that's about right. So small letters, L-I-V-E. Those will be in green, dark green.
Well, I don't have a slash, but I have numbers.
What do you mean?
Numbers for the 610 or 620 or whatever.
Oh, yeah, no. Let's just get the live done. Let's get the L-I-V-E. Here's the I. Here, you're my numbers person. Dig through the stack. We need live. L-I-V-E. There's the E.
Well, I failed kindergarten. I didn't actually fail kindergarten. The teacher said I did.
It's probably because back then you were pretty ornery and you were always I was getting phone calls from the school every day. You were in the principal's office. So, oh, there's B. Need an L.
Here's an L.
Okay, I'm gonna do these real quick. Hand me the markers and all that and take this stuff. Be my assistant for a bit here.
You're cute. Father's cute design on that while watching us.
Okay, so L.
I-V-E. You have a dog hair. You have a dog hair.
Pit bull hair.
Dog hair. I'm saying it might be Marin's. Nope, that's definitely dollars.
Yeah.
Marin's are short and bristly. And dollars are long and curly. Shiny.
Yeah.
Marin's are kind of and dollars has a
Yeah, I've been happy with the way his coloring turned out. I was wondering if he was going to fade when he got older on his black or not. Some dogs fade out a little, but he's bright, shiny black.
Marin faded a little.
A little bit, she did. Some of that ridgeback. Ridgebacks are usually tan. So that and the black lab, the ridgeback kind of faded that black lab color out.
He's a handsome doggy.
Yep, he is. He is an internet sensation. Apparently people like Dollar the Pitweiler.
Stupid.
He's not, he's just kind of young and dopey sometimes, but he means well.
He has no regard for humans. He just means a jumping platform with boots on my bed. There's so many bruises from him.
He's just excited and exuberant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Mom had to figure out different ways to make him entertained. Oh, stop. Use the flat side, you get a dark color.
Yeah.
I learned about Picasso today. Did you know he only, out of 853 paintings, he only made one educational piece? It's in Spain, Madrid, and it's not going to ever be up for sale. And it's about Guinevere, I think. It's about a town in Spain that the Spanish people, it was like the World War II era, and the Spanish people were gonna, practice a bombing drill, but they didn't tell the town, Guinevere, however you pronounce it.
Guinevere.
I don't know. And they didn't tell the town, so they ended up dying, and like thousands of innocents lost their lives.
Might be Guinevere. I'm just taking your word for that, but it sounds like.
But yeah, he got really upset because at the time he was hiding out in Paris, but he was still, a Spanish painter. And he got really upset because he didn't understand why people were, bringing a height to it. And he found out that the Spanish ordered it and they forgot to inform the people. And instead of, letting it, go on, they covered it up. And so he found out, and then at like a red gala thingy, he ended up making a piece about it. And it was it's really moving. It's like 18 feet across and black and white, and it was a really moving piece. And then people, he taught people millions about the story. But that was the one educational piece he ever made. And he made cubism. He made the art form of cubism. But that was pretty cool.
Okay, get me the big letters for pepper. We had the E already. There's the E. Give me the P, and I can start with the P and the E here while you're getting the others organized.
But we learned about that today.
Cool. Okay, and a red marker.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Stay there.
All right, Joe, I'll get this sign eventually done here. Put in the time. Figure it'd be a good chance to kind of teach my daughter about business. And obviously, we've gotten to garden a little bit together. I started them out, but she's kind of joined in. And kind of as a result, we've got her started on a fish tank and some other things because these are aquaponic peppers, watered in only with the power of the fish's water.
Lisa?
I'll kind of explain how we do the aquaponics in the back. And kind of as a result, we got you your own fish tank and kind of got you started on aquarium. Yes, got a discus.
I like fish, except my
It's kind of a cool story. We were in Walmart actually looking for, just a little beta tank or something like that, just to get her a little beta fish. And there's this gal there with a disabled son. And she said, don't want to interrupt, but I happen to notice that, you guys are looking for a tank, and I have one that I was just going to put out and give to Goodwill or charity, and it's a complete setup. Turns out it's a complete 10-gallon setup. So it's like a free $100 bill right there. So it kind of went from a little beta jar and bowl to a 10-gallon tank with a complete setup, and we went to the pet store, and they had somebody donate a discus, which anybody knows about aquarium fish, discus are usually really expensive. And what kind is yours, honey? It's an exotic one.
Albino melon.
It's an albino melon, which is like a real high-end discus, usually a couple $100. And what did we end up paying? It was free? Or
it was $1.
It was $1 because she had to ring it up for something.
Yeah, she wanted to.
So she gave us the discus for $1. It had ick, which I've kept a lot of aquarium fish over the years, 30 years of it. So ick's not really hard to deal with. So it's got some medication. We treated it and set it up in the tank with what fish do you have in there, honey?
A beta, and then we've also got a Cory.
Corridora catfish.
An emerald one.
It's an emerald green Corridora catfish and an albino melon discus, which is beautiful. It's kind of an albino with a red melon color on it. It's absolutely great. And it was a great excuse when I got home to tell the wife, hey, look, this discus is going to outgrow this 10-gallon tank, so we're just going to have to get her a bigger fish tank.
Like by next month, it's going to be like its dorsal fins are twice this amount of size when it first came.
Yeah, we'll look at it. I figure it'll be an excuse to upgrade to a 55.
At least
No, you don't need more than a 55 for one or two discus. I mean, you could, but
it needs a 75.
75 is a big tank. That's a big tank. You start getting into the 70s. I've had up to a couple 100-gallon tanks in my life at a time. But that jump from 55 to 70 is a good sized jump right there. It's bigger than you'd think. And you're talking 700 pounds because the usual ratio is, including water, is about 8 pounds to a gallon. But then when you include the gravel in a fish tank, a good rule of thumb is 10 pounds per gallon will be the weight, right?
So 750?
You're talking 750 pounds concentrated. I mean, you have to start thinking about where you want it on the joists and the floorboards and things like that, right? I mean, it's not completely, and you can't just put it on like a dresser, for example, or, any stand, because that's 750 pounds. Not all furniture items are meant to carry 700, There's a big difference right in there, so. And definitely we'll probably look on OfferUp or Craigslist and find one with a stand. Plus 55s, the beauty of a 55 Never mind, I like bigger fish. Bigger is better usually in fish tanks for stability. But the beauty of a 55 is they're really, really common, and there's a lot of parts and lights. Hey,
No one's here.
that's enough, Marin.
No one's here. No one's here, sweetheart. No one's here. No one's here. Hi. Buneta. That's the name of the process, painting and the name of the city.
Mm,
But it's one of his most famous pieces. Mr. Huge Splash.
I know I do.
Do you know green's one of the most appealing colors to the human eye?
Yeah, makes sense. Green is life, right? Means growing usually. Green means go. Am I non-stop on traffic lights? I mean, it's kind of. Being as your mom puts an encyclopedia of useless knowledge, because I like to read and watch everything. I know I've seen some studies and different things that they've done on colors, the psychology behind them. There's
But
a
you're too far off.
whole advertising industry is researching that.
Green is the most appealing color to people's eyes because they look for it and it's smooth, it's light, and it just makes you relax and stuff. That's why a lot of people have green, red. Besides, his red stands out and it kind of catches your eyes. Kind of makes you angry. And that's why you have red and green. And bulls get ticked off at red.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the color. I can't remember, but for some reason I want to say that they can't differentiate. Like it's a black and white type of color. I'll have to check on that, but I know I was watching something on the Spanish matadors,
Check it out.
and they were talking about that. Yeah, look it up. Google it. Such an amazing thing. You can tell I'm an old guy because when I grew up, there was no Google. You had to actually go look it up. Now it's just, I really like the internet and look stuff up because you have instant gain of knowledge. So love just learning new things.
So they don't get mad when they see it because they can't differentiate between colors because they're colorblind.
That's
But
what I thought.
it's because of the movements of the
Matador, see?
Yeah, they can't, and they get.
I knew I had seen that. Yeah, I
So
knew I'd seen something along those lines.
they get irritated because they can't, process it, and then you're waving their face so they go.
I think we ought to drop it down. Drop it down to 12 inches. 12-inch mark.
Did you know ants don't sleep?
Huh. Doesn't surprise me.
You know what the Second Amendment is?
Yes, I do, but I would proudly want to hear you say what the Second Amendment is.
The right to bear arms and have militia. Militia, which is an army.
Right to bear arms and maintain a militia.
Where my history teacher found out realized that a lot of
I
people
need an
don't
L.
know our rights and our amendments. So he read us the Bill of Rights and then explained them. So we understood what they are. And the
Miranda rights.
Miranda rights, you have the right to remain silent and you can be canon will used against you and all that stuff. It actually came from the Bill of Rights after, so when they started reading.
Well, I remember from watching the Dirty Harry movies that it was kind of a new thing for that back then. I can't remember the exact decade. I think it was the late 60s or 70s that Miranda rights came into effect. Before then, cops would just beat confessions out of you.
Yeah. Where it is?
It is where it is now.
And do you know one of the most important amendments?
Well, I think they're all pretty important, right?
Yeah.
But
I believe it's the 9th one. I'd have to double check, that basically says that we have the right to change and add amendments.
Oh, to ratify the Constitution.
Yes.
I have an interesting historical fact in U.S. history. Is if there is one avenue outside of Congress in Washington, D.C., that we can change the Constitution. If in times of emergency, let's say the founders said basically if we had a king take over, or, because we came from Europe, a dictator. The governors could get together, and I believe it's with 3/4 of the governors. They can change and amend the Constitution without Supreme Court of Washington, D.C. approval. It's kind of an emergency deal. A lot of people aren't aware of that.
How would you? Yeah. But a lot of people didn't know what Miranda is.
Well, a lot of people, honestly, they don't know what the legalities are, and it's kind of surprising in this day and age of information and stuff that people really don't understand the Constitution or what the laws of the country were, or a lot of times what the intent was when the country was founded.
Do you know why our country was rocky at first?
Well, it's a great experiment. We're still a great experiment. There's never been a democracy or a republic. We're not a democracy. There's another thing that people, we're a democracy. No, we're not. We are a republic. We're not a democracy. A pure democracy is where power of the mob rules, right? Which is, they saw that in Europe way back when the mob ruled. People got burned at the stake. I mean, all kinds of crazy things happened, right, with mob rule. And so that's not necessarily a good pure democracy.
No, and absolutely.
So you want and who doesn't want a monarchy? Because, well,
we escaped.
Only problem with the king, if you get a really good king, life's good for you. You get a really bad king, you're stuck with him usually for a long time. And life can be really, really, really miserable, which European history kind of bears out. And I would say that there were probably more bad kings than good kings from the history I've studied.
And when we first came over, we didn't want enough, we just gotten away from, an absolute monarchy, I believe is that was the.
Well, yeah, we wanted nothing to do with the king.
And we didn't want too much power, so at first it was all rocky and, we're all spread out. And it was kind of, their own countries living in a country, but we weren't, united. So the Constitution, the laws then were rocky at best. And then it's kind of saved us all.
Well, the original pilgrims were fleeing religious persecution.
Yeah.
Europe and the Catholic Church, they were Protestants, and they're, it's kind of like these days all over the world. You see different groups that are persecuted or killed off or genocide. A lot of it's religious persecution. So they were fleeing religious persecution. and the right to practice their own beliefs and faith, which is a right of all human beings, just my opinion. Whether or not I agree with your religion or any of that, you have the right to practice it, as long as it doesn't hurt other people.
You wanna who hold on. I have to look up who this is. I know he's in my notes. Voltaire said, and he was Voltaire said, I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. And he actually made one of the, amendments that says free speech, and that's what actually happened. That's our line of thinking, because Voltaire said it, and he was one of the. He was. I don't believe he was with the people who wrote the amendments, but he was with. But he kind of inspired it.
Well, I firmly believe in free speech. You're seeing kind of a movement, actually, these days to censor people and cancel them and deplatform. And, if they say things that are offensive to you. But one of the things that I just believe in absolute free speech, I may not like what you say, and I may absolutely consider it abhorrent and disagree with what you have to say, but
you're right.
I believe you got to be very, very careful when it comes to censoring people, and because you may like the current prevailing winds and what people are saying right now, but what happens if things change and now you're the one getting canceled later? And that typically, you watch people's beliefs and the way society and things change. Well, censorship means that, they can censor you in the future if you're not the popular one. And I just, unless it's absolute hate speech, even then there's a lot of debate on whether or not you should cancel out hate speech. Because in the future, somebody might determine what you're saying currently, which is popular to be, they might determine that that's hate speech, and then you get canceled out. And it just, I don't know, it's one of those things you just got to be really, really careful. I think you really got to weigh it out carefully before you have censorship. There was a big movement back when I was younger with MTV and all that and musicians about censorship. And the older kind of strict religious generation censoring music or, having the censor stickers, and people were fighting against censorship.
Yeah, wasn't it back in the day that they gave you a list of stuff to say on the news, and if you didn't say it, then you got kicked off?
Well, there was, it used to be you had, you still do, you have the FCC, and you have different, and there were words you could say, things that were considered offensive. And I'll say this, what I used to see on TV, and they would consider it was absolutely like Madonna back in the day. Bring up the Material Girl. She was considered outrageous and offensive. And, she was, absolutely just would make headlines, but half of the outfits she was wearing, the things she was saying are nothing compared to what you see now. You know what I mean? Like, she would be considered pretty tame in a lot of things that she did compared to now. I mean, when I was going to school, they had rules with the girls that skirts had to come down to mid-thigh, for example.
The knee.
Okay, the knee, for example. And that's, that's pretty traditional. Now you go to a public school and that isn't necessarily the case anymore. You see booty shorts and you see all kinds of things rolling out, and that's considered by society to be acceptable. Whether or not I agree with that, it's just amazing how the general public acceptance has changed. It's more and more permissive, I would say. We're not in this house, by the way, if anybody watches. There's no booty shorts going on here. It just doesn't happen.
At least outside of the house.
Outside of the house.
Inside the house is fine, just outside is not.
Call me what you want. I'm more of a traditional old-fashioned dad. I don't want to see my little girl that I used to rock to sleep going outside the house in booty shorts. It's just not my idea of fun. Okay, look, back to the pepper sign. We have fundraiser, live pepper plants.
What's black?
Yeah, I'm gonna outline it in black, I think, each letter when we're done. So we've got that done. Now, what was our model that we had? Okay, we need to pull up on your phone, image of a pepper, like a jalapeno, for example. I'm not the world's greatest artist, y'all, so I'm artistic, but I haven't really practiced painting or drawing.
Yeah.
So let me see it. Just pull up, yeah, just pull up images, and I'll just look at it and copy it and draw it off.
First I spelled sketch wrong. Okay, simple. You can't transfer it because it's
I
not
know.
picked up, but it's fine. There's this. And then the green top, dark
Yeah,
green.
I know. Hold on.
You didn't cap your markers. What have we said about capping the markers? You'll bleed all over the place. You're gonna knock it, and then you're gonna get a big red splotch, and then you're gonna be mad. And that's why why I didn't cap it. Actually, I'd ask you that, but still same thing. Yay!
Okay, I'm gonna have you come over here once I get the outline drawn and stay in the lines, right? I want it looking like crap. Shit, crap. Okay. And yeah, pull that up. Okay, color in the green top.
Just pressed off.
Oh,
This one?
yeah. There's our model.
Do you know what the 19th Amendment is?
I do not.
The you have to tap it. It's gonna go dark.
The woman's right to choose,
To vote.
to vote.
Mhm.
It's definitely an important one for sure.
And,
It's kind of sad just my opinion, that we actually had to make a law to make that happen. Just all humans are created equal, right?
I get pretty mad sometimes in adult history when I see the stuff that people are doing.
Well, human beings,
No.
they change and they adapt and they evolve,
There's a,
hopefully for the better, we think. Although there's some debate on that.
there, the,
It's all right, I got the gist of it here.
the, Abigail Adams. She, how do we say? She kind of was the first feminist. Not really. I mean, I believe. She ended up writing her husband, John Adams, the president.
John Quincy Adams.
I believe
Yep.
his son was the sixth president.
Okay.
So pardon me if I'm wrong, but she ended up, they were a working couple, the first working couple in America, and they were friends. which wasn't common back then, I guess. And she ended
No,
up,
because husbands wouldn't listen to their wives. And it's sad because, you know, no one person knows it all, and you hope that when you get married, your weaknesses are in their strong areas, and so you complete a picture, right? And yeah, it was sad because a lot of times the men would have the women leave the room, and it was man talk. That's just
right. So
yeah.
they were friends, and she ended up writing to him about women's rights and how she, I believe the letter was how she didn't like the way that they were treated and how they were just, their purpose. And he ended up writing back to her, like humoring her, of course, that, he didn't want to upset the peace and that he was kind, I guess, and that he, it was their duty, I guess, that, the bedroom, raising kids, and it was an important part that had to be done, but still important. And he ended up applying to her like that, but she was the first person who kind of, spoke up about it. And then Molly Workcraft, Witchcraft, I can't, Mary Workcraft, I don't know. She ended up speaking out for women's right to education and that they shouldn't just be, that men shouldn't just be having education, learning arithmetic, all this other stuff, and women didn't. And eventually the 19th Amendment came and who got her right to vote. But it took a lot of people speaking out before it actually happened.
Which again, is, in my opinion, pretty sad. Should always been that way.
But I think personally that the American Revolution, it brought, not my personal belief, but it brought back, people, after the slaves were freed and, all of that, that women, they were still kind of treated really bad. So then they started to act out and speak on their part. But I just think personally that an educated society, including females, is better.
It's a stronger society.
Yeah, stronger society, because if only one part, the male gender, has all the answers and it's educated, then the females aren't as educated, but they could, do a lot of it.
Well,
A lot of generals and stuff.
well, I think males and females have perspectives, right?
Right.
That are just, you combine them and you get a whole talent and a whole picture versus just half of it. The whole is usually bigger than the half, which means stronger. Okay, that actually looks pretty damn good. Maybe we'll do another pepper or two here and there.
We gotta do the prices.
Oh, hold on, we gotta,
I'll have the slash, so you're gonna have to do the slash yourself, but I have numbers.
I'm just gonna write this out.
So it didn't go on an hour to do it. I talked about my history class. I get a notification about this? Yes. Water, water! Water, water! Water, water! Locked up inside? Morning? My friend is up with me. I'm gonna die. Still stealing him tonight, by the way. He's gotten used to it.
Okay.
Giant bell pepper. Giant bell.
I'm gonna go over it. And
What's regular writing called?
what do you mean?
That form instead of cursive.
Standard.
Stop biting me. There's mosquitoes everywhere. It's called print or block script. 3 kinds of handwriting. There's modern cursive, print handwriting, modern cursive, letter shapes, letter size, letter spacing, letter. Oh, 3 kinds of writing. I never knew that. Did you know that? No?
Look up jalapeno. Where's the little squiggle on the top of it? Is that on the N or the E?
N. You pronounce the N more. Jalapeno. It's sounding it. Do it back. Do you know what? There's been 2 amendments revoked. You know what they were? Well, actually, there's been 2 amendments that have been added. The amendment in the Prohibition days banning alcohol, they added the amendment and then they took it away because they realized then stop. This is a very good sign around here.
I kind of do too.
Huh? I actually believe that. More people are injured on merry-go-rounds than roller coasters. Believable.
we go. Let everybody see this and we'll end our live stream. But there it is.
Go up a little.
Yeah.
And down. This way.
All right.